I go by Lord Asado. My real name is Jeff. As he was mentioning, I'm a partner at AI16Z / Eliza Labs. It's known as Eliza Labs now, which is like a agentic framework for creating these social agents that can trade, they can run Twitter accounts, they can like speak with voice and join spaces, go into WhatsApp, like you can make them do pretty much anything. And they autonomously trade. Let's see. How do you, sorry. Okay. Gracias. Partner at Eliza Labs, FKA AI16Z. A lot of what I'm going to talk about is gaming centered because that's what I'm working on with AI16Z. And I'm building a crypto AI agent game using the Eliza framework. As of last week, modern AI can build full games in one shot with no error. This is like a new paradigm in AI right now where you can just type in one sentence and it'll give you a game, a playable game, just in one shot with no error. And these are some examples of the games that people made since last week. Give it a prompt and it'll give you the core game mechanics. All you have to do is just replace the textures, put some sprites in there, some objects, and you have yourself a full-fledged game with no coding at all, no error. You don't have to be a developer. You can just type something in and it'll spit out a game. Here's some examples. Levels.io just recently built a fully multiplayer airplane fighting game purely through what's called vibe coding, which is talking to the LLM to then generate the code that you need to run. He built the original prototype in a day, and throughout the last week or two, he eventually brings in $52K a month revenue. This guy built a Flappy Bird game in 24 hours through vibe coding. No coding experience at all. He just used AI to generate assets. This is like happening right now. So anyone could just make a game instantly, no dev experience. For example, the original Minecraft took 2 years to build. With current LLMs, it'll take you 2 minutes. And there's more to it than just 2 years to build, right? It takes like 5 to 10 years to like learn how to actually code and make games. So there's a lot of heavy lifting that has been solved with AI like Grok. This is the current, or at least previous way of developing games. We got Unity 3D here with an editor, all these scripts that you have to deal with. Unreal Engine, which is like the node-based editor. It allows you to like drag and connect functions into each other. And it looks like a mess. It's just like all these cables, all these nodes, code everywhere. But as of now, you can just say, make me a Katamari Damacy clone using 3JS for web. And you get like a bare bones playable game, just like that, one try. If you're not aware, Katamari Damacy is a very niche game that came out on PlayStation where you roll around and collect like these household objects and it'll make the ball go bigger. So that's a screenshot of it. Obviously, you can get to a point like that as long as you swap out the basic shapes for colorful meshes and textures. But what does this have to do with crypto or anything like that, or finance? Any app idea you can think of can be made in minutes without coding. As an example here, make me a calorie tracker app that can predict my weight loss progress based on the food choices I'm going to make each day. And AI is currently, and it will get better, that you can just say what's on your mind like this, and it'll give you an app. Another example is Shopify. This is like if you want to make an e-commerce store. This is your current experience. All these menus, lists, making a product, you have to like navigate through all these menus right here. You have to deal with so many plugins to get the features that you want. But with the current paradigm, which is like not really a part of Shopify yet, but this is coming, you could just type in, I need a store for my mate products, make it minimalistic, and you'll get this with your product descriptions and like all the prices. So this is where app making is on its way to. So autonomous app creation, give the ability to make apps to an agent, and it can pump out products on autopilot. So this is the next stage where previously I just shown you, like you could type in something and it'll give you an app, but that requires like human input. So if you give an agent that ability to think of what apps it makes, then you have like an autonomous product creator, and you can do things like an AI agent that scours Twitter for app ideas that don't exist yet. So it can take in whatever people are dreaming of or what they want, see how many likes it is, see how much engagement it's getting, and then just automatically make and deploy the app with the proper monetization features. This doesn't exist yet, but the tech is there. Somebody just has to connect all the dots and build it. But this kind of gives you an idea of where things are heading. Another example is an agentic company that builds a suite of Microsoft Office-style products. So you'll basically be able to just like make a company with an agent that'll just spit out products for you. It could think of the products if you want to. It'll make like a text editor, PowerPoint slide, application, notes, mail. And then the next stage of that is autonomous development. So apps that continuously build themselves. So the previous example was AI agents that could build apps without human input. Another way to do things is apps that continually build themselves. So this involves embedding the LLMs within the app themselves, and it'll be able to develop features on its own. So to explain this, like here's an example. Apps will be able to evolve based on what your users' needs and wants are. UI that generates itself based on user input. So this is like a simple example. What is the weather in SF? And it'll generate this card with the weather, live data being pumped into it. Eventually, apps will be able to get to a point where the user could just ask for what they want, and like the entire app will just like appear for you. So like the Shopify example that I showed earlier. Another example of that is games that can perpetually build themselves hands-off beyond the lifetime of the dev team. Retain player engagement over time by autonomously creating new in-app purchases. So what this means is like the traditional way of making games and like actually keeping the money coming in over time is like you have to introduce in-app purchases. So like for GTA, for example, there's a new add-on for roller coasters, or there's a new add-on for like a set of vehicles that you can buy, and this funds the development team to keep on building the game out. So it's like you make this product once, and then you keep building upon it. But the thing is, it requires like a dev team to constantly pay and constantly hire. But with AI agents, let's see. Okay, how do you go back? Here we go. With AI agents, they'll be able to do this on their own. So the agents in the game could decide what features get built over time. So like the dev team doesn't really have to be there to create new features. Like the game itself could make the new features, or like whatever app that you have could create the in-app purchases on its own autonomously. And to do things like that, you would need crypto, for example, to like hire the developers or sign up for infrastructure that you would need, like the server or the LLM credits and applications. This is a project that I'm working on now called Small World. It's a blockchain-based AI game where characters are given agency and reasoning. That means they could think, they can reason, they have short-term memory, they have long-term memory. You could talk to them and they'll ask you how your day was. They can act in the world on their own will, converse with you, trade tokens, and construct their own civilization and put buildings on an on-chain real estate market. So here's like an example. You can talk to it with your voice, or you can decide to type in. I told him I'm at a conference in Argentina. I'm telling the people about you and the little world you live in. And he's like, oh, Argentina, small loves Smallville. Tell them small is happy monkey. What else you tell them? So he can like have full conversations with you. It can move around on its own. And when we give them crypto wallets using Eliza OS, they can actually like vote to create buildings, real estate, and they can trade. So these monkeys are actually going to build out their game as time goes on. So this will be like an ever-expanding world with different buildings like churches, grocery stores, and they can all have commerce with each other and trade. Yeah, so Small World is built on Eliza OS, a framework for crypto-enabled AI agents with personality. Who here has heard of Eliza OS at all? Oh, just a few people. Just like one or two, okay. Yeah, this was an AI agent framework that blew up big time in November, which allowed for the first AI agent traders. These are like AI entities that can trade crypto and profit. They can run their own Twitter accounts and pump coins up based on what other people are saying. So they can actually like join group DMs and look at what all the coins that people are recommending and make trades based on that. So if someone recommends a bad coin, it'll rate that person with like a bad trust score. And if another person makes coins that actually profit, it'll trust that person more. So you have these autonomous traders that can work and profit for you. It's open source, and there's like dozens upon dozens of plugins that you can use, which enables it to talk to people on WhatsApp or connect to Coinbase. You can connect Shopify to it, for example, and sell products through it. And you have a character that can kind of market your products. Let's see. Using frameworks like Eliza OS enables agents to pay for infrastructure when building and deploying apps on its own without permission using crypto. So eventually we'll get to a point where these agents will be able to build apps themselves, and they'll be using crypto to pay for the necessary tech, let's say server costs or the server that the agent is hosted on, or using other SaaS products. It'll need a crypto wallet for this kind of stuff because it won't have any, it's a permissionless way because you can't really give a bank account to an agent and allow it to buy stuff. But that's my Twitter account. You can find me on X at Lord Asado. And thank you guys.